Welcome to Cloning and Forking GitHub projects. After watching this video, you will be able to clone and sync repositories, fork a project to make a base for a new project, use Git commands to communicate with other developers. GitHub has over 100 million existing repositories, including some very useful projects. Whether you are joining a team or basing your own project on prior work, some of the most powerful tools are forking and cloning a repository. Cloning generally refers to creating a copy of a repository on your local machine. Cloned copies can be kept in sync between the two locations. Forking allows you to modify or extend a project without affecting the original project. Frequently, this is used to take an existing project and make it the starting point for your new project. Clone a GitHub repository. Navigate to the repository that you want to clone. Under the repository name, click Code. In the Clone with HTTPS section, click the Clipboard button to copy the URL. To download the source code, you can click Download Zip, but without the version control information. On your local machine, open a terminal window and change to the directory where you want the clone to be copied. Type git clone followed by pasting the URL that you copied above, and then press Enter to execute the cloning. When you have made your changes and are ready to sync your code back to GitHub, first, you must run the git add files command. This moves the changed files into a staging area on the GitHub repository. The staging area is an area where commits can be formatted and reviewed before completing the commit. Next, when you are ready, run git commit-m message, and this will commit changes in the staging area. When you are ready to move your changes fully into the GitHub repository, use the get push command. This will push all the committed changes into the repository. Remote repositories are repositories that are stored elsewhere, on the internet, on your network, even on your local computer. You can have several remote repositories, each of which generally is either read-only or read-write for you. Collaborating with others involves managing these remote repositories and involves push, pull, and fetch operations to and from them when you need to share work. Use get push to transfer your changes to the remote repo. Use get fetch to transfer any changes from the remote repo to your local repo. It does not merge those changes to the branch you are working on. You can perform a merge manually if you want. Use get pull to transfer any changes from the remote repo to your local repo and merge them to a branch. Developers use the terms upstream and origin when talking about remote repos. Origin generally refers to your fork, and upstream refers to the original work. These are the norms. You can, of course, name them anything you like. Forking is used to take a copy of a GitHub repository and use it as the base for a new project. You can also use forking to submit back changes into the original repository. This is also used to independently make changes to a project. In that instance, when you are satisfied with your changes, submit a pull request to the original project owner. They can decide whether or not to accept your changes. It is often a legal requirement to keep a copy of the license file. Even if no legal requirement exists, it's good practice. Navigate to the repository that you want to fork. In the top right corner, click the Fork button. To keep a fork in sync with the original work from a local clone, first create a local clone of the project. To configure Git to sync your fork, open a terminal and change to the directory containing the clone. Type git remote-v. This gives you the remote repository. Type get remote add upstream with the pasted-in directory that you used in creating your clone. Adding upstream adds the original repository as a new remote repository labeled upstream. If you type git remote-v, you'll see the change reflected. Other commands of interest include get fetch upstream to grab upstream branches, and git merge upstream,
main,
which merges changes into the
main,
branch. You will also see git pull upstream, used to fetch and merge the remote branch in the same step. Git pull upstream reduces the number of steps to sync with a remote branch, but the automatic merges are not always desired. In this video, you learned GitHub has over 100 million existing repositories that you can use. You can clone a repository to copy it to your local machine and sync changes back to the original repository. You can fork a repository to use it as the base for a new project or to work on a project independently.